Hello, I welcome you all to another lecture with Zenith Academy Online. I'm Shravika Jamnik and I'm going to be your teacher for today. Today we are going to learn chapter number 5, Sole Proprietorship and Joint Family Business. This is a chapter of Commerce Class 9 ICSE. So let's begin. Sole proprietorship. From the name itself, when we say sole, we mean just one person. That's why sole proprietorship means it is owned, financed, and controlled by a single person. One person is responsible for the day to day working and for everything that happens in that business. Proprietor responsible for profit and loss of business. That means the one person who owns the business, he will be responsible for all the profit and loss of the business. Now let's see the features of sole proprietorship. Single ownership. The entire business, the entire proprietorship is wholly owned by just one person. One man control. It means that whatever decisions need to be taken, whatever actions need to be taken, everything will be handled and controlled by just one person who is the sole proprietor of this business. No legal entity. Business and proprietor are one entity. This means that when you refer to this business, it automatically refers to a businessman. If the businessman someday decides to stop working, then the business will also dissolve. If the businessman, due to some unforeseen circumstances, passes away, that means dies, then the business will also die away. The business is bound to die. So, in this case, in a sole proprietorship, business is equal to businessman. Both these things, that means the business and businessman, are one and the same. Unlimited liability. Proprietor is liable for all debts of the business. So, whatever debt is there uh, during the entire running of the business, if there is any debt, if the businessman has to pay any money, the sole owner, the sole proprietor is responsible for paying back of all kind of debts. No profit sharing. All profits and losses are of proprietor alone. Here, as we saw that all debts, all the losses will be faced by the sole proprietor. Same way, when he earns more money, when he makes a profit, the profit will also be his own. He doesn't have to share it with anyone else. Small size. Area of operation is limited. The working of a small business of a small proprietor, it is limited because one person cannot handle all the things. So naturally the operation is limited to only a few things. Now let's move on to seventh point. No legal formalities to start, manage, or dissolve the business. Because the business belongs to just one person, a sole proprietor, he can start it, manage it, and dissolve it as and when he pleases. So he doesn't have to go through any legal formalities to do all these things to start, manage, or dissolve the business. Moving on to merits of sole proprietorship. So these are all the merits: easy formation, incentive to work, quick decision, independent control, economy, business secrecy, personal touch, flexible operation, and social advantage. Now let's see these one by one. First, easy formation. It just means that whenever whenever a sole proprietor decides to start his business, he doesn't have to take anyone's permission. He doesn't have to do any legal work. He can start his business whenever he pleases or whenever he thinks he has some idea to start a business. So all the business operations and everything will be started as and when the proprietor chooses that it is the right time. He doesn't have to hassle or doesn't have to go through any big tough processes. So it's a very easy formation. Incentive to work. This means that He has a motive to work, and he has to make profit, because if he doesn't make profit, if he doesn't earn money, if he doesn't grow his business, then he or she will not have enough money, uh, and they will not be able to earn a livelihood for themselves. So that's why for their own lives they have to keep working, and that's what motivates them. Quick decision, because it is just one person handling the entire business. The businessman does not have to take anyone's permission. He does not have to ask permission of 100 people, or he does not have to discuss it with anyone. He can take his own decision, and that will be final. Independent control. This means that the sole proprietor is supreme judge of all matters. Again, it's similar to the last point. He does not have to go through any legal formalities. He does not have to ask permission from anyone. He has his independent control, and this person will control the operations of the business on his or her own. Economy. So, because the proprietor is the owner, he's the manager and the controller. That's why he doesn't need to appoint any specialized people. He does not need to appoint a separate manager. Does not need to appoint a separate person who works with the finances. So therefore, the management is very inexpensive. He does not require all these specialized knowledges. He can do it on him by himself. That's why it is not very high costing. Business secrecy, because it is just one person, maintaining secrets is very easy. uh, the businessman does not need to share his thoughts or his profits losses with anyone, so the secrets are maintained easily. Personal touch. uh, when it is just one person working, when it is a sole proprietor, the proprietor can maintain contact with all his or her clients, and that's why they can cater to everyone's needs. And therefore, it's said that a sole proprietor can provide personal touch to their service or their work, their business. Flexible operation. Because it is just one person that is working, he or she can adjust the entire schedule, entire working of the business on their own. They don't need to work uh, you- they don't need to work so that it's convenient for someone else. They see their own convenience, and they work as and when they please. So it's very flexible. They can adjust all the timings, all the working, all the processes on their own. That's why it said that it is flexible operation. Social advantage. uh, Sole proprietor makes up a job for themselves. They don't have to work for anyone else. They will be respected for this, and they will definitely gain a lot of qualities like self reliance. They will start initiating everything on their own. They will have the responsibility to earn a livelihood for themselves. So, and also they can provide jobs for others. That's why they have a very high social advantage. Now let's move to the demerits of sole proprietorship. Limited capital. This is obvious, because if it's just one person that is starting the business, the capital, the money will be limited to that one person. Whatever that one person brings to the table is all the money there will be. Lack of specialization. We mentioned that because it is just one person that's working, they will not hire any manager, or they will not hire any head of operations or head of personal relations, and all of that. All the work will need to be done by just the sole proprietor, and one person cannot have all the necessary specialization. That's why one of the demerits of sole proprietorship is they will lack specialization. Unlimited liability. Whatever losses or whatever failures the business will face, the sole proprietor, he is the only one that's liable for all these losses or all the failures that the business is facing. Uncertain life. Uncertain life means there can be a lot of problems that come along the way, and a sole proprietor has to always be on their feet. They always need to uh, keep a watch on what is needed where, and how they can reduce risks, and wherever there is need, basically they need to be on top of it. That means that sometimes there may be a problem and they may need to rush to work, and sometimes business may be running smoothly so they don't have to take so much effort. So that's why it said it's a very uncertain life. It's not a continuous smooth operation or not a continuous rough patch. They have to adjust as per the working of their business. Limited expansion scope is just one person that is handling everything. Therefore, to expand the business, it will be very difficult. There will be very little scope for growth as well. If one person is doing everything, uh, if one person is doing everything, then it is very difficult to think of a lot of other possibilities and a lot of other ways to grow. He will already have so much on his plate that it will be difficult to come up with new ideas or even to uh, increase the scale of operation. Now let's see the suitability of sole proprietorship. So we already saw that sole proprietorship has a lot of advantages and lot of disadvantages. So now let's see proprietorship is suitable for what kind of organizations, or the suitability of sole proprietorship. First one is local market, where the market is local, as in, so let's take an example, a salon shop or a barber shop. In this case, if it is in one locality, everyone is bound to come to that place. It is a local market, and the sole proprietor will gain a lot of business because people come in and around uh, the same place. So he will have a ready-made local market for himself. Need of personal attention for customers. In any kind of business that requires personal attention to the customers, like here we've taken the example of uh, a broker, house broker, who shows people houses for renting or for buying. This kind of job requires personal attention to customers. So in this case, sole proprietorship is suitable. Frequent fashion change. This means where there are very regular changes in fashion, where a person needs to keep changing as and when the trends change. In such a case, also, sole proprietorship is suitable. So, for example, a person who makes jewelry or anything artistic, in that case, as the trends change, the jewelry or the artsy stuff will keep changing, and therefore, sole proprietor can adjust to these changes very quickly. Small capital and personal skills more important. So where the cash required is less, but your skill is what matters more. For example, in a if you have taken education, like if you're a doctor or if you're a lawyer, if you're a dentist, in such cases you will require not a lot of money, but your skill is what is most important, and your skill is what will get you customers. Quick decision and prompt action. When you have to take decisions very, very quickly and act upon the decisions that you have taken, in such a case, also sole proprietorship is very suitable. For example, a stockbroker, they have to see the market conditions and invest or sell their shares. And in such a case, they cannot keep asking others. They have to take the decisions very quickly on their own. So, for such a job, also, sole proprietorship is very suitable. Negligible risk. If you have obtained some kind of specialization, like as I mentioned before, if you're a doctor or a lawyer or a chartered accountant, then you can have your own proprietorship. You, because customers are bound to come, your knowledge is what will act as a pull to these clients. Lawyers are always required for any kind of legal work, doctors are always required. So in such a case, sole proprietorship can work, and it's very, very suitable. Now let's move on to the next part of our chapter, that is undivided family business. This is also known as joint Hindu family business or Hindu undivided family business. It is governed by the Hindu Succession Act. The Succession Act means that in a family, the eldest male is called the Karta, and when this person dies, the entire property goes to the next eldest male. So, this is the Succession Act. Business is created by law of succession. So, the business keeps passing in the same family and it is inherited by the next generation. Share of ancestral property is inherited by male members from his father. So, male member will inherit all the ancestral property from his father. Now, let's see the merits. Ancestral goodwill. So, what does ancestral goodwill mean? It just means that the business will stay in the family, the business will run in the family, and everyone will have to act together as a joint family that is working together, and everyone will have equal share. Even though we know that the Karta is the main person that's working, but even then, everyone will get equal share. Limited liability. Only the Karta, that is the uh, the eldest male of the family, only he will be working, and rest everyone will have no liability. They will earn money, they will get their share of the property, and they will have no liability. Ease of formation. Because the business runs in the family, there is no problem in running the business. Everyone in the family will be working, even though the Karta is the main person who is the head, who is the in charge of the entire business. The business keeps passing from generation to generation. That's why we know who is going to be the next head of the family business. Therefore, there is ease of formation. Incentive to work. Here, the incentive to work is not just for the one person, not just for the Karta, but he has to earn money for the entire family. He has to earn a livelihood for the entire family. Therefore, he has a lot of incentive to work to provide for his kids, for his family. Freedom of action. The Karta is not, he's not liable to ask anyone before taking any decisions. Karta can take decisions on his own. He has freedom of action. Personal contact. So, in a case, if it is a family shop, then the entire family can come together and work together. And the customers always feel happy when they see a family together. Therefore, the customers and the clients and the uh, proprietor in this case will have a lot of personal contact. Continuity. So, in this case, as it is said, it is governed by the Succession Act. It means that when the eldest male of the family dies, the entire property is inherited by the male members of the next generation. That means their sons will get the property, and when they pass away, their sons will get the property. So, a continuity is maintained in this kind of business. Secrecy. The Karta is not, he does not have any compulsion to share the business things with his family. He can handle everything on his own, he can take all the decisions on his own. So that's why maintaining secrecy is very easy for him, because he is the one who's taking all the decisions and taking all the actions. Demerits. Limited capital. Your capital is whatever you're getting from your ancestors, so it is limited and it has to be shared with everyone as well. So that's why the capital is limited in this case. Also, the business cannot expand or grow because whatever capital you have to first of all share it, and you have to keep it keeps getting passed on to the next generation. So whatever there is all there is. There's no scope to grow it or expand it. Unlimited liability. The karta, who is the head of the family, the eldest male of the family, he has to he is responsible for everything, all the losses, all the debts, and he has to keep paying so that they don't go bankrupt or though they don't have a lot of debt. Scope of misuse. If control is given to just one person, then the person can use it for their own benefit, for their own personal gain. So, this can also happen. So, this is another very big dismerit of this system. Source of conflict. Even if it's a family, but if there is inheritance involved, there is a lot of chance that there can be a lot of conflict. So, that's why this is another demerit. Hasty decision. Because the karta alone himself has to take all the decisions, he may take a good decision or a bad decision, and plus he has a lot of work to do on his own, therefore he can be overburdened by work and he may take bad decisions. Next point is less managerial ability. This means that because the karta himself is working, he has to handle everything, he has to manage everything. Therefore, the managerial ability is less. Responsibility unmatched with reward. Karta is alone working for the entire family, and the responsibility is not shared with everyone. He is the sole person who's taking all the decisions, who's taking all the action. Therefore, the responsibility is unmatched with the reward for him. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you understood everything. If you have any doubts, please don't hesitate to put them in the comment section below. Thank you. Bye bye.